In our last episode, we met Limited Liability and the LLP. Now, we meet its hugely popular cousin, the LLC, or Limited Liability Company. If you follow American business at all, you have seen those three letters absolutely everywhere. So let's find out exactly what they mean and why startups in particular love this structure so much. The Limited Liability Company, or LLC, is a structure that became wildly popular in the United States. Its owners even have their own special name. They're not called partners, and not exactly shareholders either. They're called members. An LLC can have just one single member, or it can have many. And the truly clever thing about it is that it blends the best features of a partnership and of a full company into one flexible package. As we go through it, you'll see it borrowing the good parts of structures we've already met. First, and most importantly, the clue is right there in the name, Limited Liability. Just like the LLP we met last time, an LLC is a separate legal entity, with that protective wall standing between the business and its owners. If the company runs into debt or serious trouble, the members can lose what they invested, but their personal homes and savings stay shielded. This is now the third structure we've seen built on that one powerful idea of limited liability, which should tell you just how essential it really is. Here's a feature that people genuinely love: pass-through taxation. By default, an LLC itself usually doesn't pay a separate company-level tax. Instead, the profits pass straight through the business to the members, who then report that income on their own personal tax returns. Why does that matter so much? Because big corporations can face what's called double taxation. As you can see on the left, the company pays tax on its profits, and then the owners pay tax all over again on what they receive. The LLC's pass-through model on the right neatly sidesteps that whole second layer. It's a real, tangible financial advantage. The other big draw is flexibility. An LLC can be run directly by its members, or those members can appoint managers to run it for them. It's entirely their choice. The internal rules are laid out in a document called the Operating Agreement, which the members write largely however they wish. And compared to a full corporation, there are far fewer formalities, no legally mandatory board of directors, no rigid rules about holding annual meetings. This light-touch flexibility is a big reason small businesses and startups reach for the LLC. Put those features together, and you can see exactly why so many new American businesses start life as an LLC. You get limited liability to protect the founder's personal wealth. You get pass-through taxation to keep things simple and avoid that double tax. And you get the flexibility to organize the business however suits you, all without the heavy administrative machinery of a big corporation. For a young, growing, fast-moving business, that combination is just about ideal. It protects you while staying out of your way. Let's weigh it all up. The pros: limited liability, pass-through taxation, very flexible management, and fewer formalities than a full corporation. The cons: like the LLP, an LLC still can't sell shares to the general public, so it's not how you build a giant listed company. Its rules vary from one U.S. state to another. It can cost more to run than a bare sole proprietorship, and the structure is much less familiar outside the United States. So it's a brilliant vehicle for a private business, but not the tool for going public and raising money from the masses. Picture a young startup's very first office, a few founders, a handful of laptops, big ambitions. Across America, a huge share of new businesses form as LLCs in exactly that moment. It's protective enough to shield the founder's personal savings if things go wrong, and simple and flexible enough to let them move fast while they figure things out. That blend of safety and speed is why the LLC has become in many ways the default starting structure for American small business. Here's an important cross-border note. The LLC is a distinctly American structure, and India does not have an exact equivalent called an LLC. So if you're in India and you hear the term, the closest parallels are the private limited company, which we'll meet very soon, or the LLP we covered last time. In the United States, an LLC is formed state by state, with an operating agreement setting out the rules. In India, those same needs are met by structures under the Companies Act and the LLP Act, overseen by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Same goals on both sides, limited liability and flexibility, just reached by slightly different legal routes. Let's recap. 1. An LLC's owners are called members, and it cleverly blends the features of a partnership and a company. 2. It offers limited liability, protecting members' personal assets. 3. Pass-through taxation lets the profits skip a company-level tax, neatly avoiding double taxation. And 4. It's wonderfully flexible and startup-friendly. But, just like the LLP, it still cannot sell shares to the general public. Keep that limitation in mind. So far, every single structure we've seen hits the very same ceiling. None of them can sell shares to the public to raise really large sums of money. To break through that ceiling, a business has to become a company in the fullest sense, starting with the private limited company. And that is exactly our next chapter. This is the market story, from the basics all the way to advanced, one story at a time. If this made the LLC genuinely make sense for you, please hit that subscribe button. It's completely free, and it's the single biggest way you help this channel grow. Drop a like so others can find it, and tap the bell so the next episode comes straight to you. See you there.